Hey everyone, it's Pastor Jan here. For today's Discover Jesus Challenge, we're going to be talking about Mark chapter 5. Mark chapter 5 talks about three different individuals. The first is a demon-possessed man. The second is the 12-year-old girl, 12-year-old daughter of a rich synagogue ruler. And the third is an older lady who is poor because she spent everything that she had on trying to get help for an issue that she had been dealing with. And so what do these three individuals have in common, and what do they have to do with Jesus? What they have in common is they all point us to the heart of Jesus. And so Jesus, he traveled to the country of the Gadarenes, stepped off the boat, and the first person that he encountered was a crazy naked man who was absolutely full of demons. And he was so wild and so crazy, nobody could restrain him in that area. Nobody could help him. They had tried, and he was too strong for the restraints, and he broke free. Nobody could help him. And so he would just wander through the tombs and cut himself and cry out all the time. And so he was absolutely out of his mind. And so Jesus delivered him, set him free, and this man basically was completely healed, got his life back, like his mind, his body, everything. And when he was delivering him, the demons were talking to Jesus, and they begged Jesus, don't send us out of the country, but allow us or permit us to go into this herd of pigs. And so Jesus granted them permission to go into the herd of pigs. And when the demons did that, of course, the pigs went crazy. They ran down the side of the mountain and were drowned in the water. And what's interesting is that pigs actually can swim. So how come these pigs didn't swim? The answer is because the demons killed them. So the people who lived in that area were so upset about the loss of their pigs that they asked Jesus to leave. They're like, you can't stay here. Like, you need to go. Like, we just lost 2,000 of our pigs. Likely it was some of their ability to earn a living or their livelihood. And so they were so upset that they had lost these pigs that they asked Jesus to leave. These people could not care less that this crazy man who had been tormented for years was completely healed and delivered and set free. And they didn't care that that man got healed. They didn't care that this man's life was given back to him. They cared more about a bunch of pigs than they did about this man. The second story is Jesus was then got back in the boat, crossed over to the other side, and encountered Jairus, who was the rich ruler of the synagogue. And so it was his daughter, his 12-year-old daughter, who was dying. And so he went to Jesus and he begged him, please come to my house and heal my daughter. So Jesus was on his way to heal Jairus' daughter when just absolutely crowds and crowds of people were surrounding him, just this mob of people, and he could hardly get through it. And it was in that mob that a poor older lady who had been suffering for years with an issue, she was there, and she had spent everything that she had trying to seek out help and healing, and was now out of money, and she still hadn't received her healing. And she saw Jesus and she thought, if I could just touch him, if I could just touch even the bottom hem of his robe, it would be enough for me to be healed. Just one touch from Jesus and I know I'll be made whole. And so she would have had to fight through the crowds to get to Jesus. She would have probably had to go on the ground. She would have been extremely weak. She was bleeding for 12 years, so she would have had absolutely no energy, and to fight through a crowd of people. And but she did it anyway, and so she would have been probably low to the ground, probably struggling just to find Jesus, and then just to reach up and touch the edge of his robe. And in that moment, Jesus stopped his disciples and said, "Who just touched me?" And they looked at him and they said, "Jesus, you're crazy. There's tons of people touching you. What do you mean?" And he said, No. I know that power went out of me and somebody was healed. Who touched me? And in that moment, the lady confessed and said, "I'm so sorry, it was me, and this is why." And he said, according to your faith, so let it be. You're made whole, you know? And so then he went on to Jairus' house, and he ended up healing Jairus' 12-year-old daughter. So here